a worship leader being led.
My job and my calling as a worship leader is to go where the Lord leads me.
This multi-talented singer, songwriter, composer is a graduate of Hesperia Christian. When it comes to songwriting, for him, no part-time pastime.
It's full-time. I will go, it goes in spells. I will write 3-4 songs in a week, and sometimes not write a song for a month. Some of them are just pieces of songs. Sometimes an entire song comes out. In the case of like You Surround Me, one of the songs we're going to record on the live record, the entire verse and the chorus came out right in one shot, and I didn't change it at all up to the point where I wrote it down. It's the same way it first came out.
John New has been at High Desert Church, the Victor Valley's largest, for 6 years. He's leaving bound for Bayside Church in Northern California, where he'll be praise and worship leader under the renowned Lincoln Brewster. As for the inspiration for his songs,
Scripture is huge for me. I generally start with some kind of scriptural concept. A lot of my songs are based in Scripture. I won't write lyrics word for word out of Scripture. I like to use turns of a phrase or metaphor that will speak to Scripture, but allow the song to become something of its own. And I think you'd find that most of my stuff is really rooted in Scripture, as well as taken from pieces and experiences in my own life.
hearing his own songs?
It's a cool thing. As a musician, early on in my life, the goal for me was to be this big. I thought about what everybody thinks about as a musician, about being this, famous guy and touring the world and doing big shows. And then, 10 or so years ago, God really diverted my attention and allowed me to be very content with the idea that songs don't have to be performed in front of 10,000 people or have radio airplay or have all of this media exposure in order to be useful, to be relevant to the kingdom and to God's ministry. And so I get as much of a kick out of hearing one of my songs, like Until, sung at High Desert Church with just my worship team of 7 or 8 guys, and things are kind of clicking and the music sounds good, and hear the church sing that back. God really allowed me to be content with the idea that that's not rubbing my back, that's not making me feel good, but that is me being used for His honor.
We've got to expect he's been asked this before, but for this talented musician, which comes first, lyrics or the melody?
Common question, probably the most asked question. The John New frequently asked question. I'm a melody-driven guy. Songwriters would understand that. I generally will write a melody, even if I don't have words for it, at the same time that I write the chords for it. But those almost always tend to come out together. Lyrics very rarely come first, and that's just the way I'm driven. Sometimes people will give me lyrics and I'll write music to it, and I love doing that as well. But I generally don't take submissions just because I just get too many. I hate to disappoint potential songwriters.
He rewrote the music for this standard.
Oh yeah, Mighty Fortress. It's a fantastic song that we try to make as contemporary as possible, and you take a song that has such rich lyrics and make it relevant to a kid who's 22 years old that's never heard a hymn in his life. And musically, it's got to make sense to him too, and that's what we were aiming for. I didn't change the melody at all, but it can be done by anybody these days. Mighty fortress is our God.
earth is not his hero.
Songwriter, composer, inspiration. John New departs us in Victor Valley. He leaves behind a legacy of richly blessed musical compositions and family, friends, and acquaintances who must understand our loss is for the greater gain of God's majestic kingdom.